Welcome to another enlightening episode of Value Seller Talks with Deepak Bajaj, where we explore the journeys and the insights of remarkable entrepreneurs and the leaders. Today, we have a very special guest, Anand Desai, the founder and the CEO of DheyaCareer Mentors, with a rich background in human resources and psychometrics. He has developed innovative and research based mentoring solutions that have helped countless individuals discover and pursue their fulfillment career paths. There is not just an organization, but it's has a mission-driven venture inspired by the values of Bhagavad Gita and the Ramakrishna mission. So join us as we delve deep into Anand's journey and learn more about his vision and mission. Welcome, Anand.
Thank you, Deepak. It's an honor to be with you. I've been seeing your podcast, quite interesting. So, thank you for getting me to participate in your mission.
Thank you so much, and we are uh, delighted that you have taken the time to share your visions and the mission and the stories with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.
So, Anand, I know that the if I go in your accomplishments, the list is really long, but we would like to know you as a person first.
Okay. See, I was born in Pune, but brought up almost entire childhood I spent in South India. My father had a transferable job, so we moved around. And the most important thing, what I learned in that entire area is we made new friends all over the place.
Hmm.
So I was suspended in six schools, there's 70 schools, so I have friends from six schools now. so, so that's the best thing. But then I did my from 11th to my graduation. I was in Ferguson College, and I was quite active away from academics. So whether it is NCC, uh, whether it is yachting as a sport, or
Hmm.
boxing as a sport, or maybe trekking. I must have trekked almost half of Sahyadris.
Oh.
Okay, so that's the background I come from. And post that, wanted to join the Navy. Things didn't work out properly. So, uh, did my master's in management from Symbiosis. Of course, while doing that, had a lot of part-time jobs,
Hmm.
which I started my actually part-time job from the age of 15. So
Oh.
I always used to work parallelly to the this thing. Sometimes take a break for a couple of months, but then used to continue. And today, of course, from the age of 15 till now, I've been working. Of course, out of which 14 years were in corporate after Symbiosis, after the management program. And of course, we have traveled to 21 countries in my life, worked there. Well, not exactly for work, but were for assignments from companies. Have gone to various places. And yeah, that's it. So when I came out of corporate, started here, okay, because I did nothing for the first 6 months. And
Hmm.
then I thought of this entire process, and this entire thought came into my mind that I should do something uh, socially impactful. And that's why I started here. So this is the journey so far. I'm enjoying it. A lot of new ideas, new people, new networks, a lot of impact, a lot of satisfaction in this entire journey. So that's how it is.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much sure this 21 countries experience, the culture, as well as the innovation which you have learned over the time has become the foundation of the Theia.
Mm. Right. It made a lot of difference, a lot of difference. You get a different perspective towards everything. And when you come back to a country, we say, okay, this is a need, okay, where people are not doing what they are supposed to do. Okay, at times you see that everything is lost in our country, and then he said, "You need to do something. Why are you going to ask others and keep blaming the government, keep blaming the population, saying that things are not happening?" I said, "Might as well do it because who else? You can do it. It's as
Correct.
simple as that. Why are you waiting for somebody else to do it?" So that's the philosophy I took on, and I said, let me make it happen.
Thank you for bringing it up. And it's a, it's a very silver line when the people say, blaming versus, what you say, taking the accountability, right?
Yes,
So,
yes,
if if not me, then who? That's the statement that
exactly.
makes us moving. Um,
Yes.
Now, there is a is a very unique word. So, if you can explain us what exactly the meaning of the word and how it inspires others.
See, the whole idea of Dheya is it's actually a word called in Sanskrit called Dheya.
Hey.
Dheya means goal in Sanskrit.
Hmm. Okay.
Now, Laks or a mission is just something which is there. Now, if you look at today, why we took this word, we had a lot of options. That time we talked, dabbled on careeraspire.com, and we said careers.com and all that. And we said that's not what we want. We need to have an Indian, pure Indian name.
Hmm.
Uh, we were so lucky that we got the domain fully for us. And the most important thing in our entire activity was balance. So if you look at our logo also, which has a typical balance.
Hmm.
Okay, so there's a D and a is symmetrical, H and Y symmetrical, vertically. And we said this is how we wanted to keep this company in a balance. Now, it is the foundation of a very strong uh, philosophy behind. Uh, and that's why we said we just use this word Dheya. Uh, Now, the second part of this entire word was today, most of the people who are into education,
Hmm.
who are putting their efforts into education, right from first standard till post graduation, they're doing it for the so-called goal of getting a degree,
Yeah.
with an assumption that yes, there will something will happen after that.
Hmm.
All the people are trying to only work on the symptoms or after effects of this. When I mean to what I mean to say is, okay, for example, today everybody's complaining that there's no employability in people.
Right.
Somebody says that, oh, skills are not there, so start a skill development program.
Hmm.
Oh, we have a problem with employment, so try to get people, push them into apprenticeship or internship. But the fact over here is, okay, everybody is working on the symptoms, the after effects of what should have been done when the kids were in 8, 9, 10 standard.
Right.
And what is that? Basically, we would have helped them decide what they want to do in life.
Correct.
Now, when I say what they want to do in life, it's a very, very typical question.
Hmm.
You ask a child right from their childhood, "Bade hoke kya banega?"
Right.
To when you grow up, the question still remains. I don't know what I want to do.
Hmm. Hmm. True.
The whole ecosystem pushes them into just picking up some qualification, yes, left, right, and center. And then they say that, okay, after the qualification, you'll get this. But if you notice that engineers are not doing engineering work, doctors are not doing medical work. Okay, those who are getting educated in their fields are not doing exactly what they're getting educated for. Now, what is happening all the time is with the degrees in hold in their hand, okay, they're not able to take it forward.
Hmm. Hmm.
Ultimately, all the outcome of education has to happen in the world of work. Now, how
Correct.
can this happen? We need to help them decide their dheya, the goal, the career destination. It's a simple thing. Today, when you travel somewhere, the first thing you go to Google Maps and say, okay, I'm going to put a destination and then decide where to go. If you ask me, you're going to go for traveling somewhere, the first thing is, where am I going to go? But
Hmm.
in life, most of them don't even bother to answer this question, where do I have to go?
Hmm.
So they get pushed around. So that's the reason we said we need to keep this name as Dheya. That is the ultimate goal that we need to have in your life. And we need to help them get that goal, number one. At the same time, we need to help them define a very inspiring career destination and create paths for it. And of course, this entire thing is started like way back in 2006. When we started this, we went through a lot of study on ourselves, saying that this is what we need to do and how do we do it. So it was a unique thing, and people will laugh at us. People will mock us, saying that okay, you're trying to do something which is away from the entire thing. But today, everybody started talking about it. Career guidance has become a need now. So, and
Mm.
we are just waiting for the trigger point to come, so that it becomes a part of every household. That's how it is.
Right. You mentioned a very important part that uh, in a very broader way, the education system has a purpose. They need doctors to serve something. They need engineers to make something right for the nation. But nowadays it's just like a rat race. Everyone is just roaming here and there without any. First of all, the direction is not clear, and if they have a direction, they don't know what they want to actually achieve. So
Yes.
it's a obviously like I'm also having a lot of thoughts coming in my mind that if a school going kid, if he has to be given a right uh, direction and the location where he has to achieve, his life would be much more easier. He don't have to go with unnecessary pressure, and I believe that the purpose which you started there since 2006 is totally spot on. So thank you
Yeah.
for bringing that new innovation in the unscattered way or in the unorganized way of the society.
See, there's another part to it. See, today, look at what has happened. Um, uh, Today, a small child gets into school with a lot of ambitions. He wants to be an astronaut, and he wants to be somebody, or she wants to be something really big, a scientist, an astro scientist. Now, what happens is as the time passes, they get involved in academics.
Mm,
Now, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. They're pretty sincere as kids.
mm,
But then by the time they come to their teens, 13 onwards, they start thinking, that, why am I doing this? Now, the earlier time that used to be told that, listen, you get a job after you get a degree. So for a degree, you need to have a good college. For a good college, good marks. So where are the five subjects are important? Now, these five subjects are important was pushed into the minds of the kids. And we all spent during our time engaging ourselves into that five subjects. You get good marks, you get good scores, you are appreciated, you are taken ahead, you move to the right place. Supposed to be. But now, every child is asking me, okay, is it really important to do education? Because what I learn is the information that I can gather from uh, the internet.
Google, yeah.
What is special about it? And teachers are finding it even more difficult to answer their questions because they know much more through their mobile phones or smartphones or internet access. Now, with all these things coming to that level, now we have got an opportunity actually to develop them from the age of 13 onwards till the age of 18, where they're flexible. You can, we can move them into the right direction. But
Mm,
at that stage, what is happening is most of them are going and pushing themselves into that rat race that you said.
mm,
And when you say the rat race, yes, they want to earn good marks, good scores. And ultimately, what happens? They get a good nice score, degree, no problem. But what is lost is an opportunity for them to define where they can put their efforts in. And
right.
today's kids are very smart. They don't want to do anything on purpose.
Mm,
Anything.
right.
Okay, you tell them, the first question they'll say, why? Why should I do it? And if they don't get a convincing answer, they refuse to do it. Now, how will you get engaged students in education without a purpose? If these kids are smart. How can you get engaged workers while they don't know where they want to go?
True. True.
Where will you get engaged and fast moving professionals who will be more productive when they don't know why they're doing it?
Mm, right.
So you'll see always low productivity, unengaged students, and frustrated parents.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
Right.
the
Yeah.
second fallout of this is while we do all these things, This field you will get a good degree, but spend another 10 years trying to just settle in life. Now just imagine a child finishes at age 18, okay,
Yeah.
the 12th standard, then the graduation, another 3, 4 years, another post graduation, and the person is still scratching the head because
Mm.
they get into jobs which may not be to their choice. Initially, they'll be happy, and then they'll find it frictional.
Right.
And after the frictional job, they're just stressing them out. I'll tell you a story of a medical professional. She's an
Mm.
MBBS,
Mm-hmm.
okay, topper, okay, from
Right.
one of the top institutes in Pune, a government institute. Now she came to us and she said, sir, I don't want to pursue medicine. I said, what happened? I said, you are among the top 10 in the NEET.
Mm.
You got a medical college of your choice. You did well there. You scored well. You're among the top intelligent persons there. Okay, you got everything there. Now you don't want to pursue medicine. He said, when I touch a body or
Mm.
touch somebody, I feel very uncomfortable. I said, what happens? He said, I get a pukey feeling that I'm touching somebody. I said, that is the core. Why did you think about it while you joined MBBS?
Mm.
He said, she said, because everybody said, you're so intelligent and you're very good at all these. So why did you join the
Ah,
MBBS?
influenced
And
by
she
others.
joined MBBS. Now the challenge here is she's trying to figure out what she can do after this. She wants to stay away from touching bodies.
Mm. Yeah.
She somehow has got an aversion to the field of medicine. And now we have helped her to figure out what she can do.
Mm.
And then we said, now you cannot miss what you have already done. Can you combine something? And now she's moved into a healthcare area where she's working on data analytics and she is happy.
Mm.
She's happy. But if you wouldn't have done that intervention at this stage, after she passing out, she was going through a huge amount of mental, I would say, trauma. She said, I have done this. All my friends are settled down, but I don't know what to do.
Mm. Mm.
Now, she also knows that everybody's in friction in that area also. Very few people are willingly trying to do something with a lot of passion.
Right.
So,
Right.
but she said, I don't know if we be a part of them. You help me out. And we have helped her out. Now, thanks to our mentors, a lot of mentors are really doing so a good job in getting these people to get into happy careers. But what I'm trying to tell you here is we could have handled this much earlier,
Correct.
much earlier. Okay, where we could have handled her and she wouldn't have wasted 6 years plus 2 years um, in a frictional way where she has got into a lot of mental agony and stress.
Correct. Correct.
So that is what we're talking.
Yeah. The timing and expectation, the emotional expectation which has been set, uh, it's really difficult to bring them back. But yes, the future and the next step is very critical at this moment. And there's so many people who did engineering, who did MBBS, who did the other things, but they are not willing to do that. But because what people will call them or how the people will push them, that's the only reason of taking those subjects or those domains.
The challenge today is we are heading towards a 1 billion, sorry, 100 crore
Yeah, 100 crore.
population, 100 crore population, which is going to be into the working age population of our country.
Hmm. Correct.
Every year, around 1 million people join this workforce area.
Hmm.
Now, when they join, in the recent, I would say, economic survey, they said we need 78 lakh jobs to be created every year,
Hmm.
which makes it around 4.5 crore jobs in the next 5 years.
Hmm.
Sorry, 7 years. 4.5 crores. Now just imagine, this is the job. There are jobs, can be created. Economy is growing. But what about the people?
Hmm.
Now everybody is just figuring out what to do, and you have 100 crore of them
Hmm.
unhappy sitting there at work. Some
Hmm.
will say this is not the job what I want to do. Some says some are completely sitting at home, at least especially the women and the rural areas. They don't know what to do. There are people who are passing out, don't know where to start off. Those who are into school are finding it unpurposeful. So the entire lot is a missed opportunity, right from the age of 13 till the age of 30, 35. If you're able to help them right at the right time, take the right direction, stay motivated, define what they want to do, help them align their strengths to what they want to be, okay, they will figure out the way also. And we have mentors, senior mentors who will actually work with them to get them into happy career. That is what is the activity that we have been thinking and we've been working about.
Impressive, impressive. So you right from the at the initial stage, the efforts has to be put to get the right result and the right fitment. Thank you
Yes.
for bringing this up. It's very impressive. I know there are so many things to be talk more on this subject, but again, I will like to move to the next question on psychometrics. So you have a very strong background in the psychometrics. So how does they uses this approach in giving the career mentoring and the guidance?
Okay. See, uh, psychometric is a very old tool, has evolved over a period of time.
Hmm.
Now, as a personality, it's a huge, I would say, unlimited kind of a personality. You actually cannot find everything about a personality, but
Okay.
you can find behavioral patterns. You can find strengths of the person. You can dive deep into the person's motivation,
Correct.
the nature of the person. Now, the tool that we use is a tool called Psychometrics there.
Hmm.
And we have developed it on our own. We have developed it for the World Bank. We have developed it for various organizations.
Hmm.
Uh, and when we develop these tools, of course, it's just peeping from the outer side of the person to the inner part of the person, where we try to figure out what the person thinks, what the person has a pattern of behavior, okay, a personality side of the person. Now, when we try to figure out what is inside, how the man thinks, okay, gives us a lot of insight on, okay, how can the person be utilized in the world of work.
Hmm.
Let's say, for example, somebody is very communicative,
Right.
very talkative, loves to communicate to the world, and you tell them, the person says, okay, I've got into software engineering, and I'm going to take up a job at a top software company, sitting in front of a PC, okay, for maybe 9 hours a day without talking. What are you doing to that person? The natural instincts of communicating are snubbed.
Hmm. Right.
So whenever the person gets a chance, takes a break and starts communicating.
Hmm.
And the person says, this is a frictional job which I'm doing, though I'm getting money for it. It is. So what is more important is there are two parts of this. One, understand where the possibility of the person can be using the psychometrics and understanding the strengths of the person. That is the first thing. So understanding the person is very critical.
Hmm.
Now,
Correct.
the second part in this is most of the people don't take decisions based on knowing themselves. They take decisions trying to look outside.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, there's an opportunity there. So go there. Oh, there is a good job there. Go there. There's a good course there. Go there. Instead, be aware of yourself first. Know yourself. And how do you know yourself? Complete the assessment, sit with a mentor. Okay. Define your strengths. Know what are you good at. Know what are the challenges that you have. And say, okay, this is if I do this, it aligns to my nature.
Correct.
Like we talked about, the talkative person, communicative person goes into the field where everyday communication is important.
Hmm.
Maybe a broadcast journalist who talks and talks and talks and talks, or she talks and communicates. Now you have these two people. And the same person can be utilized better. Okay, the person will say, I'm in the right place. And the last and the most important thing over here is all about decision making.
Hmm.
What do you consider while taking a decision? You consider only factors outside you, or you consider that, oh, this is me, this is my nature, and let me take a decision based on my nature.
Hmm.
And the minute you start thinking about yourself, believe me, the decisions that you take will be for yourself.
Hmm.
Now, the biggest challenge, none of the education systems talk about, part of the education system talks about knowing yourself.
Correct.
They only talk about knowing all the information outside you, not about yourself.
Except you.
So all the decisions are pushed by outsiders and not driven by insiders. In the inside, what you think. So psychometrics plays a very important role here in understanding the person. And that is where we try to connect this thing. So when I learned psychometrics way back and started working in 1990, when I started working on this, started learning it, there are a lot of passion-based work which I did on this passion-based learning. I attended a lot of courses internationally and all over the world, understood various tools. And then I said, instead of just using it for selecting people in corporates, why can't we get these people to know about themselves using a tool that is very simple, easy to interpret, yet quite comprehensive enough, okay, to take a decision.
Hmm.
And this is where we use psychometrics. And we said this has to be democratized. It cannot be only for a few set of people.
Yeah.
Okay, so we created a training program around it. We trained our mentors around it. Now we have fantastic reports. We have a one-to-one. We have a qualification for that. So our mentor gets qualified for this, and there's a one-to-one kind of a session that happens, and then the listing of strengths, and then decision making happens after that.
Hmm. Yeah. So, one thing which comes in my mind is when we are talking to the students who are at the age of 13, 14, 15 years of age, that they are mostly influenced by the restrictions coming from their parents. And parents
Yes.
are actually influenced by the outer world. Okay, now data science is going on, AI is going on, engineering has a good career. All these type of things, we are still exploring who are those four people who generally influence the Indian community. So, but yeah, so in your approach, how you handle the parents' objection, and at the end of that, they are the decision makers.
See, one thing very big has happened in the world of parenting. Okay, uh, let's say go back two generations.
Mm.
Okay, during this time in the early 1900s, pre-independence, when the parent would direct the sky, the child will do it.
Correct.
Now, of course, everybody was struggling, so children will do whatever they want also. So things were like quite hazy. But there was strict control of parents on the children.
Mm.
They were joint families. They used to live together. So you have three, four uncles in one area. Somebody would give the right advice to the person because they have seen the world. There was wisdom at home.
Correct.
I would call it wisdom at home because they have seen the world. They have seen experiences.
Mm.
Then came the nuclear family
Right.
because people started working across the country. Uh, you know, both the husband wife decided to split from the joint family, stay independently. Okay, and then that independent nuclear family was united.
Right.
Okay, the earlier generation we're talking about. Yeah, I've been seeing this change since 2006. They were united. They were talking to each other. They used to communicate with each other. They used to understand the child,
Mm.
ask the child what they want. They used to discuss a lot.
Okay.
Then came the next thing. They are living together, but both parents are busy. Now, in this situation, what is lost is understanding what the child wants. Now, look, just imagine a situation here. One parent is working, the BPO parents was the worst situation.
Yeah.
Mother works during the day, father works during the night. They don't see time together. And the child is there, the child doesn't see parents together.
True. True.
Then came the working age of both the working parents. Both are working. They come in together in the evening, both tired. The child wants to communicate, but they are all busy. They get hardly a weekend.
Correct.
And that too, on the weekend also, there's something going on in the mind of the work on the work side. Now, do they really understand their children? Doubtful. Now, some things are emerging where they are living together, but they're broken families. Parents don't talk to each other. They have conflicts. The child is lost.
Yeah.
And now we have been seeing an emerging trend of separated families coming to us. Now, in all these things, the biggest challenge is the child's understanding your child's needs and motivations and the behavioral pattern of the person. Parents are quite distant towards it. They don't even understand. And because they don't understand, they'll end up taking decisions which the child doesn't want.
Very true.
Everybody says, okay, go to NEET, go to JE. The child doesn't want to do it. But since everybody is talking about it, they take the easiest route to just put that child into JE or NEET, depending on the subject.
The
And
shortcut.
what the child does, the child says, okay, I'm doing it because my parent is saying it. I'm not doing it because I want to do it.
And he
And
don't have time to express himself as well because
yes,
everyone.
and whom does that person parent? And then after doing a course for 2 years, or maybe what is happening in Kota and various places, they're doing these courses, and they say, okay, my parents are putting money. Now just look at the child. The child is responsible. It feels very, I would call it as indebted towards his dad. The dad has paid money. And if I say no right now, what happens to the money paid in? So there's a sunk cost already done for that place, and that makes the child feel guilty, and the child doesn't talk. And we have seen, uh, you know, children losing their lives. Of course, we have rescued many rather. I would say we are proud to say that we found out through our psychometrics that there is something that the child is bugging the child. And we have gone and actually told parents that if you don't get your child right now back from the coaching class, wherever the child is studying, you're lost him. And we have saved these children from committing suicide. Of course, we also lost a couple of them because the parents didn't take a decision. Now, what happens is a very different thing in this situation. Okay, children are very good. They feel responsible for what they're doing. Okay, they are scared of what the teacher will tell the parent in the coaching class. Now, and the parent will say, I put in so much money, why don't you study? Okay. Now, the understanding overall in the family is somewhere at a very low level at these stages. So, what we talk about is try to help both parents and children understand each other. First, let's understand the child. Let's okay. For example, a few days back, we had a lawyer couple who came to us and said, he doesn't listen to us. He's very aggressive. And when we profiled him, he was a dynamic, aggressive person, made for becoming a next Steve Jobs, wanting to do what he or he wanted to do. So this guy said, I'm not able to understand him. Then we started discussing the profile and the behavioral pattern and said, this is what your child is. He said, exactly what this is. I said, understand it. Can you change him now?
Hmm.
Can you change it? Because there is no medicine for changing nature, okay? How much ever you want to. So we said, okay, let's change it. Let's help it. Okay, can you do that? No. Utilize what the child is. And then when we said this child has lot of strengths that you can utilize. Now, it was so surprising that this fellow has already started his own startup. And rather, he is following up with me saying that, sir, you should be my first client. Okay. So, yeah, of course, we can become a first client of it. But then we know that this guy is in a hurry to start up something, find a solution to something. He's a dynamic guy. Okay. So this is how it works, where we're trying to help that child, understand himself or herself. And we're helping the parent also to understand what the child is. And while this happens, the first thing happens. All the fights at home go down.
Yeah.
Now they know that my child is having a lot of strengths, and using the strengths, we can do something really worthwhile. If we give them the right direction, okay, give them the right environment, okay, place him in the right place, like a plant. You need to place the plant in the right place for it to grow. Okay, give them, nurture them, help them, and this is how they understand. And now, of course, we do a lot of work with parents when we talk about something called as positive parenting, and that's a very very important uh, topic which we do with these parents.
Hmm.
So ultimately, using psychometrics, understand parents. That's
And,
how it.
and at the end of the day, it's a balancing act and win-win situation. The
Absolutely
the calm minds can create will be a more creative, and once you are a creative, you can excel in your whatever the profession or career you have taken.
true,
So
true, true.
I'm totally thinking about the facts about the students committing suicides and the loss of life, and this small just hand holding with the right tools and the system in place can really help them for the not saving the life but saving the nation as well, because this can be a creative and can create a lot of employment like a startup which you mentioned
Yeah, and you set them in the right direction right from the beginning,
right from the
and
beginning.
then you won the child.
Yes.
Okay, you cannot give them the right direction after they finish certain time, and then when if their age of learning is gone, you cannot get them to learn again.
True. Agree. Uh, you always mention about the inspiration from the Bhagavad Gita and the Ramakrishna mission. So, can you elaborate on these two philosophy in the Dheria career counseling?
Yep. So first of all, Ramakrishna Mission, I was very lucky to have, uh, a kind of a Guruji of mine right from 8th standard. I was a notorious kid, absolutely a notorious kid, um, uh, full of Josh right from
Hmm.
8th standard. But some direction which I got from the Ramakrishna Mission, so I'm completely indebted to the mission. Okay. So I've been going there from 8th standard and sitting there for lectures, sitting there for in the evening prayers. All that stuff is a part of my life. But the most important part over here, what is thing is, what direction I got
Hmm.
from my early age, which made me prepare for whatever I want to do. Say I
Hmm.
wanted to join the Navy. Okay. So, and how did it come? My Guruji told me, you know what, you're such a Josh guy. You cannot sit at one place. You are a sports guy. You keep playing sports. You should focus on joining the Navy. For joining the Navy, you should do mathematics. You should do this. You should do that. And that thing worked.
Hmm. Right.
Right from 8th standard, there's only one focus. Join the force. That's it. Now, the direction was so strong that NCC, I was the best cadet the third year across Maharashtra. Got the Veer Savarkar Trophy. Okay, I walked the RD parade. Okay, So I was a part of the undeployed contingent. Okay, being a part of this entire thing, I said, okay, do trekking because that's something which is adventurous. Do yachting, that is something adventurous. Got a bronze medal at the national level. No, okay, so that's how. Now, when we talked about all these things, so that's the direction. So if that thing can happen to me, where I set a goal for myself, a life destination, and I create a path, why can't I do it for thousands and crores? That's the idea. Now comes the Bhagavad Gita part. Now, I've been a student of Bhagavad Gita right from my early age. And the very core of Bhagavad Gita talks about connecting your nature to what you want to be in life in terms of, you know, you're going to live life like that. Now, how it works is a simple thing. You have a subhav, that's a nature. Now, this is a universal knowledge. You cannot do something against the nature. That simple as that. Now, to give you an example, okay, um, everybody is meant to do some work based on their personal nature. And to an example is, if you look at salt, it is white in nature. If you look at sugar also, it's white in nature. Okay. But both work is different. One is made to do something to make everything salty, and one is made to make everything sweet. Now, how does it work? For every individual, there is their subhav. And they are really good at doing something to contribute to this world. That is Swadharma. Okay, the salt Swadharma is to make everything salty. Where the sugar Swadharma is to make everything sweet. But Swabhav ka dharma, that is Swabhav's dharma. Okay, the duty. Okay, it's not religion, okay, it's duty.
Duty.
So Swabhav and Swadharma go together. If we are able to connect the person's Swabhav to Swadharma, okay, the person will live a happy life throughout. And there are several instances, several verses across the Bhagavad Gita which talks about the same thing. Okay, connecting Swabhav to Swadharma. Okay, and that is where the whole inspiration is. So there are two things, very simple. Get them to know what their nature is and get them to know what they can do using their nature. Possibilities. And they will build a bridge. Now, for that, they need to be seeing that there are so many possibilities available for me, for my Swabhav.
Right.
Now, there are three parts of it. Again, one, the work actually what I'm going to do. The second is the field they're going to get into. And the third one is how they're going to earn money. Okay. And the earning of money is like whether you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you want to get into becoming a self-employed professional, or into business, or into jobs. So all are depending on your Swabhav.
Correct.
Now just imagine a very deep thinker, quiet guy, getting into the field of sales, especially the field sales, after doing MBA. Wrong Swabhav. Swabhav is good. You cannot change it. But the Swadharma is the problem. Okay.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that is where the challenge.
No, I again,
helping them do that builds happiness. That's what we're talking about.
It's a very great learning, and especially the balancing which you talk about, putting the all the internal parameters into the right direction, aligns them to get to your goal, which is the Dheya Foundation is all about.
Yes.
Right. So, in the interest of time, Anandji, we have to to make a hard stop, because I know I
Sure.
will be definitely going with another session with you, because there are so many things I want to learn, and it will definitely help millions of people who will be listening to our podcast. So thank you, Anandji, for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us today. So your dedication
Sure.
to mentoring and career development is truly inspiring, and the work the you are doing at there, along with a lot of mentors team which you are building over the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Right. So until next time, this is Deepak Bajaj signing off.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.